Hi there and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole and today we'll be previewing this coming Friday's meeting here from Fanny Bay, which will be the 24th of March. Only 4 races will be contested on Friday, with the average benchmark 1600 metres failing to attract enough entries. This is not surprising. The last couple of meetings have been very solid in numbers. However, a number of horses are now being spelled in advance of the Darwin Carnival or are headed to Alice Springs for the upcoming carnival in the Red Centre. The first race gets underway at the mid-afternoon time of 3:15 p.m, while the last of the 4 is scheduled to jump at 1 minute to 5. In the first, the Anzac Day races on the 25th of April handicap, a 0 to 64 1300 metre event. My numbers are 2, 4 and 3. Going here with a very consistent lucky dog, number 2, trained by Chris Pollard. Casey Hunter takes them out this week in the absence of Stan Sakos. This horse was a deserving winner last time out. It had been racing really consistently. It had 3 seconds prior to that win. Now that was on the 17th of February, so has had a freshen up, about 5 weeks between runs for Lucky Dog. Up in grade here, but has competed in higher grades in the past, and I really think the trip might be the only question mark. Has had 2 starts at the 1300 metres for a second, so fingers crossed Lucky Dog at the 1300 metres will be very hard to beat again. So number 2 on top. Ahead of 4, Del Viento, Paul Shires for Chloe Baxter. This was the horse that was late scratched last week when favourite here on St Paddy's Day went out on the track and bolted a lap and a half in the hands of Casey Hunter. Unfortunately, had to be late scratched. Paul Shires goes aboard this week and was certainly very impressive, winning the previous start, or rather 2 starts previously, and then last time out was second. That was in the apprentice race behind the smart Doc O'Connor. So I thought it would be hard to beat here. Let's hope it gets to the start in one piece in the hands of Shearsy. And in for third, number 3, the last start winner in Thunder Peak. Jared Todd aboard for Gary Clark, who of course cornelled the Sir Pat's Cup last week. Well done to Clarkey and his team. But Thunder Peak, good to see this mare back in winning form. That was on the 4th of March. Jade Hampson rode on that occasion, and this time Jay Todd goes back aboard. So in the first, my numbers are 2, 4 and 3. The second's the Darwin Racing Special Conditions Plate. This for the all-aged maidens and 3-year-olds up to Class 2. It's a little confusing, but it's a hybrid race. It's a race we run when we don't really have sufficient numbers of 3-year-olds. So it's a maiden and 3-year-old event, and those 3-year-olds can have won no more than 2 races. My numbers in this event are 2, 1 and 4. Going here with the 2 Tommy Logan horses on top in number 2 Bowflyer and number 1 Battle Class. Bowflyer's been good, 2 starts in the top end for 2 second placings behind Del Viento and Aplomado. Goes up in trip here from the 1000 to the 1200, but did run second at that 1200 first up on the track, so shouldn't be an impediment to its chances. In for second, the stablemate Battle Class, Paul Shires aboard for Tommy. And this has had 2 starts in Darwin and improved a little, I thought, last time out. Finished 5th of 10 behind Zuzu Kakanakis. Only beaten 1.8 lengths. That was in the race that was run in terrible wet conditions last week. In for third, number 4, Gotta Beat. This is the only horse in the event that's actually won a race. Trained by Paddy Johnson, Jade Hampson aboard. That combination was in winning form in Alice Springs, of course, last Sunday with ankle Rolex. And Gotta Beat was a winner at Traralgon back in November. It's had 3 starts since in Victoria, having its first start on the dirt in the top end, so one to keep safe in the second. Numbers in race 2, 2, 1 and 4. The third's the Cup Carnival tickets on sale handicap over the 1100 metres, 0 to 70 handicap. Obviously Cup Carnival not far away. Once we get to Alice, it's all uphill or downhill, depending on which way you look at it, towards the Darwin Cup. Numbers in the third, 2, 4 and 3. El Magnificence for me. Phil Cole really holds the key here. He has 4 of the 5 runners engaged, and I've got him on top with El Magnificence. Wayne Davis aboard. This horse was a last start winner in the hands of Janis Luxemon. That was on the 4th of March. Beat Patria easily on that occasion. He's racing well, never goes a bad race, El Magnificence, and can see him being very hard to beat again. And for second, the stablemate Adora Dancer, also trained by Phil. Jade Hampson takes the mount. Had a trial recently and won that trial, so that was a pretty good pointer towards this first up run. Hasn't raced since the 4th of December. And my third selection is the only non-Phil Cole trained runner in this, and that is number 3, Bell's Banner, from the stable of Gary Clark. Hasn't had a run for 8 months plus. Jared Todd aboard. She's a capable mare, has only lightly raced, has won the 5 races, 7 seconds, 5 thirds. If she's on her best form, she'll give this a shake. Numbers in the third, 2, 4 and 3. And in the last, the Silks Trivia Tuesday Handicap. This over the 1600 metres in our biggest field of the day. It's a benchmark 54. My numbers here are 1, 6 and 2. Hello Gem, for me, he was 4th last week behind Siakam and Co in the St Paddy's Cup. That, of course, was a 0 to 76. He's way back in grade here to the benchmark 54. Consequently, he's up in weight from a weight of 55 last week. He carries 62 kilos this time. So a big weight rise for him. But look, this is his trip. This isn't the strongest field. He's been racing consistently well. His run last week was good. So I thought he could get back in the winner's circle here. Number 1, Hello Gem. Ahead of 6, Captain Hedderwick. He tends to mix his form a bit, this galloper, trained by Gary Clark. Jared Todd aboard, but this is the kind of race where he could certainly show up, and he is proven at the mile, having won twice from 13 starts. And my third selection, number 2, Looking for You. Wayne Davis engaged for Phil Cole. Third here last time out, that was last week, behind Ye Heller. So these 3 horses I've gone for all race last week. So backing up, the quick backup 6 days later, but Looking for You, certainly capable. He's an 8-year-old now. He's run the other day behind Ye Heller over 1,300 metres was good. He's also a previous winner at the trip, a win in 3 seconds from 6 starts. So numbers in the last, 1, 6 and 2. Best bet of the day, race 3, number 2, Al Magnificence. It just looks very hard to beat. Race 3, number 2, Al Magnificence. Well, the best roughie is in the second, race 2, number 3, Bluffed. I thought he'd be a chance here. He went to Alice Springs, finished down the track on that occasion. Peter Stennett's brought him back home, and I've got him in as my best roughie of the day. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, and we'll be back again in a week's time, that being Friday the 31st of March, the last day of March, as we move then into April, and another busy month as we build towards the Alice Springs Cup Carnival. Good luck and good punting. We'll see you next week.